There's a person in your life, maybe it's you, who is drowning, completely overwhelmed, exhausted, struggling. But if you ask them, "Hey, are you okay? Do you need help?" They smile, and they say, "I'm fine. I've got it." And then they go home, and they fall apart alone. Why do people do this? Why do some people find it almost impossible to ask for help, even when they desperately need it? Today, we're going deep into the psychology behind this. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you're going to understand yourself or someone you love in a completely new way. Before we start, I want you to think about the last time you needed help. Maybe it was at work, at home, in a relationship, or just emotionally. Now ask yourself honestly, did you ask for it? Or did you handle it alone, quietly, while pretending everything was fine? If you chose the second option, you're not alone. Millions of people do this every single day. But here's what most people don't realize: this isn't a personality quirk. It's psychology. It has deep roots, and it has real consequences. Let's break it down. The first thing we need to understand is, where does this behavior come from? For most people, it starts in childhood. Psychologists call it attachment style, basically how we learn to connect with the people around us when we were young. If you grew up in an environment where asking for help was met with, "Stop being so needy, figure it out yourself," or even silence and emotional unavailability, your brain learned something very early. Needing help equals weakness, and weakness equals rejection. So you adapted. You became self-sufficient. You became the strong one. And as you grew up, that became your identity. "I don't need anyone. I handle things myself." Sound familiar? This is what psychologists call avoidant attachment, and it affects a massive portion of the adult population. Now let's talk about what's actually going on inside the mind of someone who never asks for help. Because on the outside, they look strong, capable, independent, but inside, there are some very painful beliefs running the show. Belief number 1. If I ask for help, people will think less of me. There's a deep fear that being vulnerable will make others see them as incompetent, weak, or a burden. Belief number 2. I'll be rejected anyway, so why bother? This one comes from past experiences, being let down, ignored, or dismissed. So the brain says, don't even try, protect yourself. Belief number 3. I should be able to handle this on my own. This is the perfectionist trap. There's an internal standard that says asking for help means you failed somehow. Belief number 4. My problems aren't serious enough to bother anyone. This is called minimizing, constantly telling yourself that what you're going through isn't bad enough to deserve support. These beliefs feel like truth, but they're not facts, they're old stories, programmed into us long ago. Here's what nobody talks about: the real cost of never asking for help. And I don't mean the obvious stuff. I mean the deep, invisible damage. Number 1, chronic stress and burnout. When you carry everything alone, every problem, every responsibility, every emotion, your nervous system stays in a constant state of alert. Over time, this leads to burnout, anxiety, and even physical health problems. Number 2, loneliness, even in a room full of people. There's a specific kind of loneliness that comes from never letting anyone truly in. You can be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone, because no one really knows what you're going through. Number 3, resentment. This one is sneaky. When you do everything yourself, you start to resent the people around you, even though you never asked them for anything. Deep down, a part of you wanted them to notice, to offer, to show up without being asked. And when they don't, the bitterness builds quietly. Number 4, relationships stay shallow. Real intimacy requires vulnerability. If you never show your struggles, people never get to truly know you, and that creates distance. The irony? The people who never ask for help often want connection the most. Here's something I want you to sit with for a moment. We live in a world that praises self-sufficiency. We celebrate the person who figures it out alone. We call them strong. We call them reliable. We call them a rock. But psychologically, this kind of strength is often a defense mechanism. It's armor, built to protect a very soft, very human part of us that got hurt a long time ago. Brené Brown, one of the world's leading researchers on vulnerability, spent years studying human connection. And what she found is this: vulnerability is not weakness. It is the birthplace of courage, connection, and meaning. Think about the people you respect most in your life, the ones you feel closest to. I bet they're not the ones who had it all together. They're the ones who were honest with you, who showed you their struggles, who trusted you enough to say, "I'm not okay right now." That's not weakness. That's the bravest thing a person can do. So, if you're someone who struggles to ask for help, what can you actually do? Step 1, notice the story you're telling yourself. The next time you need help and you stop yourself, pause. Ask yourself, what am I afraid will happen if I ask? Just naming the fear takes away some of its power. Step 2, start small. You don't have to pour your heart out to someone immediately. Start with something tiny. Ask a colleague for input. Ask a friend to help you move something. Let someone pay for coffee. Practice receiving. It's a skill. Step 3, reframe what asking for help means. Asking for help doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. It means you're self-aware enough to know your limits. That's actually a sign of maturity and intelligence. Step 4, find one safe person. You don't need to be open with everyone. Find one person in your life, just one who feels safe, and practice being real with them. Real connection always starts with one honest conversation. Step 5, consider therapy or journaling. If this pattern runs deep, and for many people it does, working with a therapist can help you trace it back to its roots and genuinely heal it. Journaling is also a powerful first step. Here's what I want you to take away from today. If you're someone who never asks for help, I see you. I know how exhausting it is to carry everything alone. I know it feels safer that way, but the walls you built to protect yourself, they're also keeping out the very thing you need most: connection, support, love. You are not a burden. Needing help doesn't make you weak. It makes you real. And the people who are worth keeping in your life, they want to show up for you. Let them. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And drop in the comments. Are you someone who struggles to ask for help? Why do you think that is? I read every single comment. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. We go deep into psychology and self-improvement every week. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself.